explain the wall of debt card here and what you're going to do with it?
Yeah, so this wall of debt, what we're going to do is with it, we're going to send it down to Washington so the congressman can use it on the floor of the House of Representatives to explain to Washington that student loan debt cannot rise and that we need a responsible plan to keep the student loan at 3.4% and not let it double to 6.8%.
If it weren't for those stimulus dollars over the last several years, this college would be in a very different place. So I'm really delighted to have Congressman Tierney here at the Bedford campus today to talk to you all a little bit about the issues confronting public higher education and what Washington can do for you. So Congressman, there's your challenge.
Many of you probably already know that I went to Salem State. I was very lucky when I went there. I could work a couple of jobs, and with that money that I earned in those couple of jobs, I was able to pay my room, my board, and my tuition fees. I don't like when I go around the schools now and I find out people are working a couple of jobs and they're still lugging around about $25,000 in debt when they get out of school. That's not right. When it came to 2007, when the Democrats won the majority, one of the first things we did was finish off a fight that had been going on for over a decade. And that is make your student loans direct. To the extent that you have to borrow and you have to take out loans, you ought not to be going to a private lender who gets a subsidy for giving you that loan and then gets a guarantee for making sure that you pay it. When we got rid of that in 2007, we saved $61 billion. We took that $61 billion, we paid a chunk down on the debt, but then we did a couple of things. We increased the value of Pell Grants. Right? People that need some help, a scholarship to get them through, we brought that from $4,050 up to $5,900. All right, and that's where we think it should be and grow maybe a little bit so that now it's the same percentage of the relative cost of public higher education as it was in the 70s when Pell Grants were first implemented. So that's one piece of it. The other piece was we said, you know, when you get out of school, you are going to be carrying some debt, unfortunately. You ought to have it in a system way that you can pay it off reasonably. So then you can take a job that you want, not one that you necessarily feel forced into because it's going to give you more money but not more satisfaction because you have this burden. And we're going to make sure that if you do that religiously, if you pay that amount, then at some point in time you know the balance is gone. So we put what we call the income-based repayment plan. 15% of the difference between the federal poverty level and your adjusted gross income was what you had to pay for your loan. And what I'd really like to do now is some of you, if you're not too bashful, you did sign your name, I want to hear about some of the financial situations that you have going on so I can take it back to Washington, use it as anecdotal evidence to my colleagues to tell them why this is important and why they ought to go out and listen to their students in their districts.
When I was 18 in 2004, I went to Johnson & Wales. I got student loans out. I didn't like the school. I got out, and now 8 years later, I'm still paying off $7 grand. And $7,000, and I'm back here trying to get an education, get a degree, so I can get a job, and it's just hard knowing that I have $7,000 from a school that I didn't graduate from.
And that's, are you making the payments currently while you're in school here, or they
yes.
deferred?
Yes, I'm making payments
So you get the tuition here, you get your bill there. Yep. Thank you.
Fully support having the student loan interest rate to 3.4% because my parents, they came here in 1963 and 1965 from Portugal, and they don't have a college degree. They want the best for us, for my sister and my brother. They also come here. And you know, my mom at one point worked 3 jobs, 1 full-time, 2 part-time, and my dad works 2 jobs since he's been here. And it's hard for them to, you know, provide for us, provide, you know, make the house livable.
I frequently have 6 countries in my living room on a phone meeting. In order to compete now, you have to be educated. Education is the only chance we have. We cannot compete with China, mainland China, on labor costs. We just can't do it. The economic standards are so different and the laws are so different. It's completely impossible. So we have to be educated. We have to be faster and smarter. It's the only way we stand a chance.